All right, what's up, y'all? So we doing a kind of generalization of what's to come on Apex Season 19, right? And we'll talk about a few other things in between that. But of course, you got my blooper in the front. Y'all know when I used to do my videos and I got used to like kind of making a quick little edit, I used to put my bloopers. There's the blooper, me falling perfectly on top of the car. So we're gonna talk about Season 19 first, and we're gonna talk about a little bit. I pulled it up here on my phone, but we're gonna talk about the Storm Point map update. Even though a lot of this information y'all already have, that might be conveyed differently between the person that you are listening to. So new point of interest, Watson's Pylon. This is actually something I didn't know until I just went to go look it up on EA. So I am kind of interested, only because of the fact that my previous two voiceovers that I was doing to see how my studio mic that I make my music with works on the videos, I did say that like I don't think Waddy gets any love. So I guess it's a matter of see. So new POI, Watson's Pylon. At the end of Arsenal, a massive storm ravaged Storm Point, forcing it offline. This was bad news for the city of Suotamo, which is largely powered by energy infrastructure on or around the island. Watson quickly volunteered to assist, of course. Having friends with those close ties to Suotamo, Watson has since led the charge to restore power with the pylon in collaboration with the Syndicate. I'm really waiting for. I told y'all in a few last year. I told y'all last year about how they was talking about making an Apex anime. I didn't care how I got it. Okay, I didn't care if it was a TV show. I didn't give a fuck if it was anime. It could have been a puppet show, not really, but it could have been anything Apex related, and I was gonna watch that jump faithfully. Okay, the lore behind the game, the whoever is the original creator of the story, the connection to Titanfall, Octane's dad and the Syndicate, Lifeline's mom and dad, all of this, whoever is doing this is a goat. Okay, if you ever get to hear this video, this particular one, right before season 19, you are an absolute GOAT. I love a good story. Okay, I love a good story. I like jumps with like twists and turns and all that. Now, certain movies I can't watch because the little mysteries and all that shit be a little too in depth, right? However, I like this. I like this. Once I saw the Syndicate, it like raised the flag in your head. You know what I mean? It still begs the question, like, are they good? Are they bad? What's the deal? Like, all that jazz. So as the season started to progress, first of all, I'm so happy we made it to season 19. Season 19 about a game says a lot. Like, it's being consistently looked at and considered. I know that they're gonna kind of I remember a couple of seasons ago, I want to say like 16 or 15, the devs were talking about kind of putting a pause or a slowdown on Apex to introduce something new. Come to find out, everybody is surmising that we Titanfall 3 in. Titanfall 2 was gas. Not gonna lie. I started playing it way late, like back like when the servers were bad. So I was playing it back then. But like Titanfall, if you really like with the lore and you already know the guns and all that, you kind of come in there with a little bit of a handicap. But not only that, I think even if you know the guns and all that jazz, the robots do add a very intensified like need for certain battle sense. I ain't gonna hold y'all. My Titanfall and robots, I'm garbage. On the ground with the boots, with the jumping, with the zip lines and all that, I'm cranking. I'm trying to crank some youngins. But like the robot, I'm hatch medium. I'm not gonna lie. All right. With the pylon, the team's goal was to create a dynamic hot drop where players can reliably find easy combat. The team was particularly interested in tapping into the vertical cat and mouse gameplay usually found on World's Edge. That's interesting to add to Storm Point, because now that we all know about it as as Apex family, as a community, youngins gonna be dropping here hectic. Okay, I'm not gonna hold y'all. When I'm jump master, I am not a hot jumper. I like to keep it cool. I like to get my TT hopefully early game with a sight. If not, I don't get it early game, I'm hoping for like a car or 99 and something long range. I like to always play close to mid, close to long. I can always play a close game. I can play a close game. I gotta tweak a few of my settings. However, I could play a close game. Do I always win? My probability, I would say, is probably about like 60%. I got a weird habit of like not hip firing. I can't do it. You know what I mean? Like, not that I can't do it, but like it's rare when I pull it out the bag. However, when I'm long ranging, longbow, sentinel, TT, I'm good. Now, only one I don't like is 30-30. G7 and I think they did change the bullet drop. Mike and Pulgar both like to use Rampart every now and then. Rampart shield adds a heavy bullet drop, especially on the TT. That kind of throws me off. Do I want the extra damage, or would I prefer to not have my bullet drop and be used to the bullet that I know is going to hit my target 8 times out of 10? So that's always been a thing. But this here, so with the pylon, pretty much what it's saying is the objective is to tap into the vertical cat and mouse gameplay usually found on World's Edge. World's Edge is known for a lot of back and forth, a lot of cat and mouse. You could hold stuff down, you could transition pretty well. It's a spacious map, but it doesn't feel as vast as Stormpoint does. So to have a centralized place where like we can all like kind of, you know, come together and you show off your wall jumps and your I forgot what the other one was called, the not newest one, but the newest one I heard of. I think it's like ledge climb or ledge jump or whatever the fuck you want to call it. All those little things, your zip lines, your zip line jumps and all that. It's gonna be cool. We'll keep going. Some notable features of Wattson Pylon are the charge tower at the center of the POI and an integrated gravity cannon that will launch players to the reworked Forbidden Zone. Interesting. Wattson's room at the top floor is also home to some particularly interesting details. ... I like how they did that. We are thrilled with how Wattson's Pylon turned out and hope you love it too. This is gonna be cool to me. This, I think, is cool. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not gonna give Wattson love, give her lore. I think that with everybody. Like, if you're not gonna give, like, Bangalore didn't really get too much love. Then Bangalore and Newcastle season came out. That's a connecting point to a previous character as well as getting a new character. If you don't give me love, give me lore. You know what I mean? IMC armories. Unfortunately, the IMC Spectres failed to defend Stormpoint from the storm, leaving only ravaged husk of the armories behind, except some higher tier loot to remain, but the Spectres will no longer defend the spoils. Interesting. Like that. That's cool. It adds a new dynamic. We haven't seen Stormpoint for so long, so to get Stormpoint in this kind of like half destroyed, ravaged, kind of like post-apocalyptic of Stormpoint state, kind of cool. Reworked area, the Forbidden Zone. The Forbidden Zone was hit hard by lightning during the storm, destroying parts of the perimeter fence and causing the Prowlers to flee. Our goal for this area was to reduce the friction of rotating through the zone by removing the Prowlers, but also providing structures to build better fronts and defensive options when squads are forced in combat. Now, I originally did not like Stormpoint because of the fact that Wattson was not a viable character there, and in any season, I will at least pick Wattson. I want to say, if I say I play 50 games in a week, I'm going to pick Wattson at least like 10 to 20 of those games. I try to rotate between Wattson, Valkyrie, Ashe, a lot of my favorites. I like this. I like the thought process on making a defensive front, because we're going to have a character that is going to kind of break the availability to be stuck in a defensive format. So you're gonna have to find a way to maneuver around Conduit, which is kind of cool. One character coming in that could change the dynamic for the entire game. And what is it originally? It's 30 squads, 60 players or something like that. But out of all of those teams, I can bet you, because the objective by bringing in a new character is to see how she flows with the meta and see how she flows with the new essence of the game, the changes of the map, the topography that switches up, geography, all that jazz. It's gonna be interesting. I find that a lot of the time, and Mayor of Apex said this on Instagram, he said a lot of the times the pros, they'll complain about something, and that's usually when it does switch it. I do find that to be true. Best example of that is Lifeline. Lifeline, of course. Lifeline with the shield. Lifeline with the shield was gas. Lifeline with the shield went away. Newcastle popped in. But there were a lot of complaints flowing through the interweb about the fact that Lifeline was too OP. Where? You know what I mean? You just got to find a way to maneuver. The game's about battle sense. The game's about adjusting. The game's about being able to quick think. A lot of the time we mess up because we get nervous, we get anxious, we get cautious. However, just like in life, however, at the end of it, if you want to win, you have to be able to have a cool head, and you have to be able to get used to maneuvering around certain situations. That's kind of the goal. That's the whole objective. Then you become somebody who, of course, if you know how to maneuver in all those different situations, you can cross certain things off your list. You become more of a high tier player, right? Me, myself, I find myself to be in the intermediate stage. Would I be able to participate in the AOGs? Them youngins move a little too strange for me. I don't think I could do that right this second, but if I was to do more studying, do a little bit more locking in on Apex specifically, it's not impossible. You know what I mean? I think that it's possible for anyone, but it does take a certain amount of diligence to learn something, just like with anything else in life. There's a saying that a dude used to tell me when I worked at a car dealership, and he said it takes 21 days to build a habit. If it takes 21 days to build a habit, think about how much time it takes to actually learn something. And then while learning something, to decide to unlearn something else that is not as helpful. You put that in your life. You could put that in the game. You could put it in whatever you want. At the end of the day, we use the game to decompress. If I'm gonna keep taking L's, I'm less likely to decompress, because now that's gonna get me hot. That's gonna transfer, the heat. Unless you like more of like a playful player, which is perfectly fine. But don't come into my ranks. Don't come in the rank with me and my homies. If I only got 2, don't come in our ranks thinking you can go crazy and smash stuff and, talk trash and all this, that, and third. And at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? You don't really live that life like that. Like, you don't really operate like that in the game. Because the game is intense. If I'm not mistaken, in terms of ratings, Apex is the number 2 hardest game in the world. Pros, people who do study, people who do want to be great, they are going to move a certain way. They're going to shoot a certain way. They're going to dance around in the game a certain way. That's going to change the dynamic. It's going to constantly change. So it makes sense that it is number 2 difficult. It was number 2 difficult last year. I don't know about this year. I know Fortnite has been number 1 for the longest, because you got the building aspect of the game, and that to me is very difficult. That's a difficult thing to get into. I could never do it. Not me personally, but in terms of Apex, boots on the ground, some abilities, some cooler ultimates, resing my homies, getting in these intense situations, I could do that. But let's see, the other areas of lightning rod, we got cross progression, which is crazy for Apex. We got skydive hollow sprays. Hollow sprays are soaring to new heights this season. Equip them to your wheel and use them while in flight. I did not know this. Once deployed, hollow sprays will follow your flight path for a limited time, or until a skydive emote or different hollow spray is used. Let the good taunts roll on the ground and in the skies while you are dropping, hot or not. That is something I did not know. I was looking at Apex last night. I was looking at the rank system, and I was like, where the little season-long hollow spray, skydive hollow spray jump go? That's where it went. That's nuts. This is gonna be cool. It's just a cool little thing. Like, the little things make a big difference. And even though it could be, I don't know, but it could be one of those things where, like, it's a distraction to distract us from something else in the game that may be wrong. It's cool. Like, let's enjoy it. Okay. Which part of the season lights you up the most? Let's look around. There we go. Okay, so I got another one. All Apex Season 19, all weapon changes, buffs, and nerfs. This one's on Game Leap. Let's look at it. Craft and rotation. Returning to the floor loop. RE45, 30-30 repeater. I mean, I guess I kind of like the 30-30 being in the box because it's something I didn't have to look at all season. I did not think about, but some people do like 30-30. I have found it slightly interesting when I don't get as much bullet drop, so a mid-range fight, and it's 2x4 sight. I love 2x4 sight. I'm not really a big fan of the 3. Don't know why. Don't work for me. 2x4 works for me, especially on TT in every case. Return entering the crafting box, the 301 in the vault. This is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna give y'all a potential forewarning, clairvoyant situation. R301, we could call it a heavy nerf. The nerf it definitely changed the game because I used to run Wheezy big time. Now I kind of cool off on Wheezy. Wheezy's edit nerf wasn't the best, and now it's going in the box. Usually when they put things in box, you know how that goes. They're gonna put it in a box, it's gonna cycle out, and then the next time they put it on ground, it's gonna be gas. I'm surmising this. The vault's okay. I literally mean that. Like, it's okay. I've done very well in fights with the vault. Do I pick it up every time I see it? No. A lot of the time I take the ammo for the TT, or potential of having a TT soon. We'll see. But I do think the Wheezy is gonna get touched. I think the Wheezy gonna get touched. I believe that. I'm surmising it now. Y'all hearing it now. The digital threat site, however, has been removed from the crafting rotation, but will still be available as floor loot. This is kind of cool. This also makes sense. Bangalore has been strong meta this season. From what I'm seeing, every match, Bangalore. In the past, we used to call Bangalore the number 1 card player because Bangalore is literally just like a card player. She got a cool little, UAV, a jump not the UAV that sees people, but the one we used to have in card. I think used to. It's either used to or now we have it. Either way, got a cool little missile launcher. You know what I'm saying? Got the smoke bombs. Got the speed running. It's a card. That's a card all day. If you haven't played card and you go to play card, that's a card. Digital threat, we need that. Okay, we need that. SMGs, we need digital threat in general. Having to craft it and potentially fight a Bangalore versus, like, say I'm in a fight and I got Bruiser, but there is a digi threat in front of me and I want to quick swap it. I can't craft it in that fight. I can quick swap it though. So digi threat back on ground is good news. Let's see, weapon buffs in season 19, increasing projectile size of the longbow, sentinel, and charge rifle. Yo, I talked about it earlier. Storm point is vast. This dope as fuck, cause this mean your bullets fitness smack. This is gonna be this got me excited, cause I'm a sniper. I love sniping. I do car, 9.9, sentinel, longbow, TT, anything in that build. I like to do SMGs and snipers. This gonna be crazy. Charge rifle has improved bullet drop ballistics, empowering long range shots. I can see that. Charge rifle at the beginning of the buff was crazy. Not gonna hold you. I played it for, I think, literally the first match I played of that season when the charge, I think it was the season. I forget because it's always like 3 months apart before the next season. But I played charge rifle that first match. I think I did put a video up because I was like amazed. Charge rifle was going stupid. That little Spartan rifle, like that. Okay, I like that in the beginning. Now it's a lot harder to hit things with it. And I wouldn't really pick it. It's more of like, sorry y'all. For me, the charge rifle is more of like a scare weapon. Like, I'll shoot it in somebody's vicinity, and because I shot it and they heard the sound, they move. It does happen. I do use it like that. And then I drop my longbow back there, but I'm using my charge rifle right now to scare the shit out you. Then I'm gonna go grab the longbow and we gonna really have a fight. Charge rifle, we just did that. The bow boasts a faster draw speed, more flexible shatter caps with a tighter blast pattern, and the ability to toggle them off for precision. I don't use the bow. I have used it before. I think my first video with y'all was a bow. It was a bow as I shot the Octane in the face, and I was like jazzing it on the voiceover. The bow's gonna be cool. This is cool for the bow. I think that this is cool. Like, it doesn't have to be a nerf. It don't got to be a buff, but it could just be something. Like, I like this. I like the thought process behind like touching certain things that you don't really think about being touched. Not only that, anytime Mike see the bow in the care package, he grabbing it. So I like that for him, because if I like it for him and it does well for him, it's gonna do well for me and it's gonna do well for the team. We like that. You know what I mean? As a collective. The Wingman receives a damage boost and is equipped with the Skull Piercer Elite. Dope. That's gas. Everybody look, the two most satisfying shots in Apex, and this is might be my personal opinion, but I also think it's general like knowledge. The Wingman and the Sentinel. Those two, it's the sound, the sensory of it. To be able to hit a youngin with a smooth little revolver that you've been running, that you holding in your hands and swinging around back and forth, pew pew pew, and then you hit the shield shatter. That sound is always satisfying, especially me. I love shield shattering with TT, and then finishing them off that same weapon, or like breaking a shield with like SMG and then swapping over the Wingman and dogging the rest. Yo, that is so satisfying. That is so satisfying. Sentinel, same concept. Sentinel does 70 damage. Not Nugget, right? I think Nugget is either 140 or like 120 or something. Like, it's one something, I think. I think it's one. I want to say it's 140, unless I'm thinking Kraven, I'm going too high up, or I'm thinking charge Sentinel. One of the three. Sentinel, you could charge it. The sound in the cinematic for the charging, always exciting, always cool. Then beyond that, you got your the actual shot. You pull off the shot and you drop a youngin and you see the bullet come out the gun. Like, all of it's so satisfying. So that's gonna be cool. Boosted loader now comes with a damage nerf for turbocharger. Boosted loader comes with a nerf. A damage nerf for the turbocharger. Got you. So what is, I could be wrong about this, but what I'm hearing is boosted loader. Usually when you get the bullets low, you hit the jump and it recharges, and it charges the reload speed, and then you get more bullets in the clip. Boosted loader now comes with a damage nerf. So instead, if you want to use the boosted loader, you're gonna get a damage nerf instead, but you'll get more bullets. So it's like that's even. I like that. That's an equal trade-off. That's not terrible. That's what I heard. I could be wrong. Weapon nerfs in season 19. Hemlock sees a slight damage reduction. This makes sense. Them saying slight means that the number for it, because usually they give numbers when it comes to these. The number for it can't be vast. It has to be like a point percentage type thing. Like, it has to be a low percentage. But Hemlock damage reduction, that makes sense. Even Bangalore says it. One shield, one shot, the one clip to break the shield, and the other clip to break the man. That shit, like, if that's what that is, then you know what I'm saying, maybe a couple of fights will be a little longer. Not only that, what this does is decreasing the Hemlock's value increases the Nemesis's value, because they're both 3 shots. Nemesis is a little, I won't say it's stronger, because I do like a good Hemlock run. Like, I like a good game with a Hemlock and a TT, but the Nemesis, I would say, in my personal opinion, from what I've been seeing from season 18, it's not as picked. It's not a higher pick. Hemlock is a pick. Hemlock has been a pick. Hemlock will be a pick. Single fire option, triple fire option, single fire, long range, triple fire, just to get some picks off. Like, you at what is it, 2990 in damage, and you just need that cool little whoop whoop, and then that's the Hemlock. That's what that does right there. Not only that, it's a good way to get people to get moving if they on top of a certain structure or something, especially if they get beamed from your team and another team. It puts them in a sense of, I have to rotate, and it gets their height out of your face. Because if a youngin is on height and I'm not on height, I know that is a rule. That is like rule 2 of Apex. I guess rule one would be for people to ping a lot because multi-pinging is so consistent. But the main rule in Apex is whoever has the height has advantage. You can do a lot with a lot of height. You set up your shields a certain type of way. You set up your defenses a certain type of way. Height and building kind of always I've seen that height and building have gotten me most, like me and my team, we've gotten most of our wins by either building and cover or height and advantage. Lately in this season, it's definitely been more buildings and cover because we do a lot more creep walking when we go forward. However, in the times we've had height, we have been very successful. So, let's keep going. A little pop-up ad came up. 30-30 repeater experiences increased hip fire spread with successive shots. Interesting. Like I said, I'm not a big 30-30 fan, but not exactly a 30-30 fan, but it's not on my pickup list. It's not my pick. This gonna be cool. Increase hip fire spray. A lot of people like the hip fire. A lot of people know what hip fire means in the game. A lot of people can win by hip firing at close range. So this is gonna be cool. It does, it puts it in a close to mid range. That's cool. Definitely like more of like not a PK exactly, because I definitely have moments where like in the past, especially like early seasons before stuff started getting touched, I was a PK. I love PK sniper shots. It's just so childish, you know what I mean? These changes are sure to impact the gameplay, making season 19 an exciting period for Apex Legends players. While this provides a glimpse into the upcoming season's adjustments, stay tuned for more detailed weapon changes and full patch notes set to be released on Monday, October 30th. That is tomorrow. So we will see what happens tomorrow. Yeah, we'll go from there, y'all. I'm gonna kind of leave it here because I just realized like I'm going on a cool little run. And yeah, y'all be easy, bro. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the vid. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Y'all know I don't really do this for like all that jazz, but I do like for y'all to hear and see what's going on. And this one was to also test my mic, so I hope that y'all were able to enjoy and hear me clearly and be able to get some more information about Apex, because like I said, a lot of these things I didn't really know was coming. I knew some things was coming. I didn't know everything. So be easy.